Historical lens with spiritual perspective. Welcome. This is a wisdom cafe story. A wisdom cafe story. This is something that our foremothers would go out in nature and they would tell a story. And within that story, they were talking about being in this physical realm, this university called life, having a physical experience as a spiritual being. So we're going to get started. Get out your tea or coffee, get comfortable, and share. Participate in this story. This is going over. It's going to go over 3 minutes, way over 3 minutes. So again, make sure you're comfortable, and I hope you enjoy this little wisdom story time. And I want to welcome the new subscribers to this channel and to this podcast where I talk about history. This is a series I'm bringing for Black American women who are on their journey of inner realization and cultivating self love, rest, and ease. And they're doing their own homework and research to have more clarity and understanding why it's important that they water that plant and cultivate self love. So let's get started. And this is for educational, inspirational purposes only. This is not professional, medical, or mental health advice. Cafe story. Read the red flags before you invest. Read the red flags before you invest your life. Read the red flags before you invest your life. Also in the description section, because in this story, they're in a bookstore cafe, and they're enjoying their herbal tea or coffee, and with that they have their homemade vegetable lasagna. So if you want that recipe, it's in the description section. So enjoy. You can get the recipe from the description section below and share. Imagine that you're in the bookstore and you're being a part, you're participating in the discussion, having a constructive discussion. And you share if this is something you can relate to in the comment section. All right, let's get started. On a quiet Saturday afternoon, a few young Black American women met inside a cafe bookstore. Shelves of novels and history books and travel journals surrounded them. At their table were coffee and herbal tea and slices of fresh homemade vegetable lasagna. Yeah, again, if you want that recipe, it's in the description section below. Now, Lynn had barely touched her food. Lynn says, I think I may have made a mistake. She said, I gave Marcus most of the money I had saved. Her friend, Sandy, put down her cup. How much? Almost everything. He needed studio time and equipment. He said when he makes it in the music industry, he'll repay me. All right, now just share, participate in the comment section. If this is something you can relate to, or maybe you imagine you're walking through the cafe bookstore and you're surrounded by these books, travel guides, travel journals, and maybe you check out a book, or you just sit at the table, you're enjoying your tea, and she says this, and you're just listening, like, are you for real? But share your thoughts, having constructive conversation pertaining to this story. So again, her friend Sandy put down her cup and asked how much. And Lynn says almost everything. He needed studio time and equipment. He said when he makes it in the music industry, he'll repay me. Lynn explained that Marcus had entered her life quickly. He texted from morning until night, called her his future wife, sent long declarations of love, and talked about the house they would share after he became successful. He even mentioned that she could move in with his mother. Within weeks, he was asking for money. He told her nobody believed in him the way she did. When she hesitated, he said a supportive woman would invest in her man's dream. That sounds like love bombing, said Sheila. A lot of attention, promises, and imagined futures before real trust has been established. Lynn looked down. Now he wants us to have a baby. He says a child would prove that I'm serious. Does he have steady income, housing, savings, health insurance? Is he building? Sandy asked. Lynn just shook her head. No. Does he repay what he borrows? She shook her head again. No. And then she murmured a little, well, maybe sometimes. Does he take responsibility when something goes wrong? Sandy shook her head. No. Oh, excuse me. Lynn shook her head. No. Sandy spoke gently but clearly. Then he is asking you to risk your well-being, financial security, and future, your long and short-term goals, while he risks nothing or almost nothing. But I'm going to say nothing. Love bombing can feel powerful because constant texting creates the impression of intimacy. But access to your phone is not the same as access to your heart. Frequent messages do not prove character. Promises do not replace preparation. Red flags. Pay attention when someone rushes emotional commitment before earning trust. Talks about marriage or children almost immediately, especially when they have no resources, no financial planning, they're not building. Pay attention when someone pressures you to become pregnant without resources or a stable plan. Pay attention when someone asks you to finance a dream that they have not responsibly invested in themselves. Uses guilt to make you prove your loyalty. Pay attention when he promises repayment when he makes it, but offers no written plan. Has talent and ambition, but no consistency, discipline, or accountability. Pay attention when he becomes angry when you ask reasonable financial questions. Pay attention when someone wants access to your money, home, car, your well-being, your labor. Pay attention when someone calls boundaries selfish or says standards mean you do not believe in them. Pay attention when he expects you to endure instability while he chases recognition. Pay attention when someone gives dramatic affection but little practical care. Pay attention when he blames every setback on other people but takes no accountability or responsibility for his actions or himself. Pay attention when someone wants you permanently tied to them before you have seen how they handle responsibility and accountability. Lynn wiped her eyes. I thought helping him showed that I believed in love. Sandy reached across the table. Believing in someone should not require you to stop believing in yourself. Self-love is not only candles and affirmations and rest. Self-love is financial discernment. It is studying historical patterns. It is studying harmful historical patterns, not just within your own generational pattern lineage, but within your community, within your culture. Before making permanent decisions, it is protecting your reproductive choices. It is protecting your well-being. It is protecting your education. You can encourage someone without becoming their bank. You can respect a dream without financing irresponsibility. You can care about someone without producing a child to prove your loyalty. You do not have to remain attached to a person simply because they described a beautiful future. That's aesthetics. You need to go beyond the surface. Take your time, watch the pattern, speak with trusted women who are not emotionally invested in the relationship. Learn about financial abuse, reproductive coercion, manipulation, and love bombing. Do not give temporary attention, permanent control over your well being in life. Black American women, your love is valuable. So are your time, your gifts, and talents. Prioritize self love before validation. Prioritize self love before validation. A person who sincerely, genuinely cares about you will not require you to become financially insecure, emotionally exhausted, permanently bound to instability so they can feel supported. Again, share, participate in discussion in the comment section, and welcome to the new subscribers to this channel, to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed this little story. And in the description section below, you will find the recipe for the vegetable lasagna. Enjoy.